Everybody knows it's just before the season, and that season means it is new driver season. We're trying to get something new into our golf bags. We think that's going to be the answer this year. And there's another driver, or there's another couple of drivers rumoured to be coming out. And the drivers that are rumoured to be coming out are a new version of the Mini driver, but not from TaylorMade. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So Mini drivers have been an elusive driver that a lot of people have talked about over the years. We know TaylorMade did have the 300 Mini driver, which I think is a fantastic looking club, and for me performed pretty well. Obviously I was getting plenty of distance out of it, even though it's a smaller head, more loft and a shorter shaft. We then know, unfortunately for Dave, we did have the Burner Mini driver, which again was fantastic, was a real big seller, and they always sell out, and that's the big thing of them. The limited runs, they don't normally obviously produce a lot of them, and then they're very hard to get hold of. But for me, I had this in my bag for nearly over, well, for probably over a year, because I was struggling with driver. And that's exactly what I saw. Fantastic high towering shots like that, a nice draw up there into position A. And even that from a strike right there on the toe. Twist face doing its job. And a lot of people ask, who is this obviously Mini driver for? And well, interestingly enough, I had a lesson in this week for a short game lesson, but he had the Burner Mini driver in his bag. The exact same one as this, set at 13.5 degrees, and he used it as a 3-wood. So he used it off the fairway, but also from tee boxes where he doesn't need driver. Somewhere that maybe is a little bit tighter off the tee, he doesn't like the look of it, and it was the perfect club for him. Again, a scratch golfer. But for me, this club obviously does tick a lot of boxes for a lot of people. Obviously, what we're going to get from here is a little bit of a shorter shaft, and for me, that's a big thing for mid to high handicap golfers, because often then we have a little bit more control on that head. As soon as we start to get something longer, we start to be thrown out of balance, and even though it's only just shorter, that can make a massive effect to you hitting the center of the face. And we know if we hit the center of the face a little bit more, we're going to get more distance. So this could potentially go further than your driver, because you maybe, like a certain mid-handicap Dave, not found the face, or not found the center of the face very often in the last couple of years. Obviously he is now after his lesson, but this could then end up going further, even though it's shorter and has more loft. Because there you can see I can flight that down, I can play different ball flights to it. Just because it's 13.5 degrees doesn't mean that's going to go extremely high. And here on the 18th at Woolley Park, we're into the breeze today. Be very interesting to see where that's gone. But let's jump into the simulator, let's show you some numbers, compare it to my Cobra Dark Speed LS driver, and then we'll get back out here on the course and put it to the test into this stiff breeze. So in here now, obviously before we test this out on the course, and again it's all about getting the right tee height here for this Mini driver. So if you're somebody who's looking for a Mini driver, they are quite elusive, to be honest. So again, I was at Golf Clubs for Cash this week, I only saw one Mini driver, so like you say, they're hard to get hold of, but again they are keeping the value, or if anything they're actually worth more than they were brand new. So certainly a popular club. So it will be very interesting when we see Titleist and PXG bring theirs to market. Again, a nice penetrating flight there. The low one there, not too high, even though it's 13.5. And again there, 261 carry, going 280 yards. Spin down there at 2,000. So again, not getting drastically a lot of spin, depending on what kind of loft I return on that. You see there that I got a nice penetrating ball flight. It's not just going to balloon because it's 13.5 degrees. Again, off-centered strike there, not the best strike, but still carrying 250, going 270. So if that's an off-centered hit, and it's still going down the middle. Again, if we look at obviously dispersion, it's not obviously gone wild. There, a terrible strike, still carried 250, still going 270. So let's try and hit a normal one now, a little bit higher for us. Let's see what distance that can get. A little bit higher there, a little bit of a pull. see that would have been down the left-hand side of the fairway into the rough. 263 carry, and again 282, 2000 spin. One more. That's the one, a little bbit higher, 13.5 degrees. What carry do I get? 250 carry, going 265. So straight away there, not bad at all. Obviously, one big thing we know with these clubs is, like I mentioned, some people might use it as their 3-wood. So off the ground, what am I going to get? Again, a good launch, just leaking a little bit right, but that's my normal shot shape. And interesting there, still carry 260, gone 280, so you can see there, still getting plenty of ball speed. It did fill me with a little bit of confidence, obviously having that bigger head behind it. We've also got a centered strike there. Let's go one more now, let's see what we can do. Well, certainly a low stinger there. The low runner. Not the best strike, but forgiveness-wise, still there. 213 going 230, which again on the golf course as a missed strike, I would take. Let's get one more good one out of this. That's a better shot. Usual fade. 247 going out to 267. So good spin numbers there. Very interesting there. Obviously dispersion is all pretty tight. We're not losing any. We're not losing maybe as much as we would with a full length driver. Let's come in with my current driver now before we test it out on the golf course. So Cobra Dark Speed LS. So we know I've been hitting this pretty well out on the golf course. Looking around about 300 on a good shot. Straight away there, a high launch from that one, a little bit spinny. 260 carry going 280. So there straight away, very interesting, obviously full length driver. Not the best strike, spinning quite a lot there, up at 4,000 it was, but it's gone as far as the mini driver. Again, straightness wise, pretty good. But let's see now if I get one out of the middle. So again, a little bit spinny, not the best strike, but is it going to perform? 260 going 280. So like I say there, yes, dispersion's gone a little bit. Not the best swings on there, not the best strikes, but that's gone just as far as a mini driver. So you can see that I was struggling with my driving, even those I would take on the golf course. But I would have to hit my Sunday best with the mini driver to obviously get it there. There's a better, more penetrating ball flight carry. 275, running out to 295. So straight away there, obviously we've got that little bit of a jump, 2000 spin, good launch. Again, not a centered strike, but I've got it back out towards that 300, and that's really going to help me on the golf course. Again, on par 5s and short par 4s, I might have that little bit of edge to get to the green. One more. Again, a nice low penetrating ball flight. Running out just past the mini driver. Don't feel like I have to get that as a good strike. 2000 spin again. Well, let's get this back out on the golf course. We've seen here inside, obviously, we've got good consistency with a mini driver. That's why I had it in the bag. But distance-wise, we are still getting that a little bit more from a driver. So it's weighing up that. If you get that little bit more consistency, are you too wayward with your driver, then a mini driver could be a perfect option. But let's get on the golf course, see what the difference is out there into a stiff breeze. So interesting numbers, exactly what you'd expect to see inside. A little bit more distance from the Cobra Dark Speed. So from the 2024 driver, we were getting that a little bit more distance because we have a little bit more speed. The shaft is longer and we're starting to obviously optimize that a little bit more. But good numbers there from the mini driver, and you can see why I had the mini driver in the bag when I wasn't striking the driver fantastically well, which happens to us all. But let's put it to the test out here into this stiff breeze. Cobra up first. which I've been hitting well. And that is a fantastic line. Good strike there, low spinning over the bunker, and that is on to the perfect with a little bit of a launch pad. So be interesting there. That is a Callaway 2. We have a Callaway 1 now, so when we get up there we can see. But let's get back to the mini driver. And again, when we talk mini driver, obviously we do tee that down a little bit lower, so it's right for me in between a fairway wood and a driver to make sure we're getting the right angle of attack and the right strike. I'll try and flight this one down a little bit. And that's also on a good line. A little bit further left, might skip the corner. Let's get down there and have a look. Our PXG and Titleist onto something with this club. So we can see up here consistency. These were the two first mini drivers, so in the fairway, similar distance, not much run, but that's the same for this time of the year. Obviously what we've got down there is the Cobra Dark Speed, so we can see that is a good 15 yards past the mini driver, which I also did strike very well, but it's a fantastic driver nonetheless. Depending on what you're struggling with, if you're misstriking your driver, then it could be a great option. Smaller shaft, obviously shorter shaft even, smaller head, but you really have to be a little bit more in balance. But if you do get the strike better, you're going to get more distance than you would if you're misstriking your driver. So very interesting, can't wait to see PXG and Titleist bring out these clubs. They have been rumoured, when they'll be out we don't know, but would you be looking for a mini driver, because are you struggling with your current driver?